Hi everybody. What I'd like to do now is just cover this dashboard that we have here on the left hand side, and just keep in mind that the dashboard is like the control center for everything that you're going to do on your WordPress site. So I'm just going to go down through here and I'm just going to give you a basic overview of what is located here. As we go down, you can go to Home, which just takes you to this home page we have here right now. We can go to My Sites, which just basically tells me that I have my site. I can go in here, I can go to the dashboard, I can visit my site if I would like to. If I click on Visit, what's going to happen is I just can go back and visit my site. If I decide I want to go back, I just hit the back button and I'm back where I was. The next thing that we want to talk about is posts. Posts are a way that you can put information up on your website. For example, think of this more like being, say for example, like newspaper posts. In other words, posting articles. And then you can tie those to specific locations on your website. So in other words, we have all posts that maybe have been written. We can add a new post. We can put them in specific categories. So we could have a category like new homes or real estate financing or whatever. And we can have tags. Tags are keywords that tie to a particular post, like for example, real estate financing or education or whatever. The next link that you're going to have here is what we call media. And what media is that on a WordPress site, you have a, if you will, a library of media, meaning things that you have uploaded. So if I click here in the library, you can see that as it stands right now, I don't have anything really located in here right now, but this would be my media library. If I was going to add something new to my library, I would click this link. This would allow me to select files from my computer, and then I would be able to upload them to my library. And you can take those files that are in your library and then later on put them in your site. So for example, I could have a picture of myself that I want to utilize in different kinds of posts, such as my home page, real estate flyers I may have, news stories I may write. So I can go in here and select those files and from there upload them and then use them over and over again. The next one that we have is called links. We can go into something called all links that we may have, and we'll get more into what all these links really are. We can have new links and we can have link categories. So again, what I want you to do is just to see what's here. Don't really change anything, just look and see what's here. The next thing is called pages. And pages, every time you build a website, one of the things that you typically will build is a page. A page is going to have all that content that you have on your website. So this is where I can look at all the pages I have, and it doesn't look like I have much now, but believe me, as time goes by, you will have lots and lots of pages. This is where I can add a new page, and when I add a new page, I can do things like put a page title in. I can then turn around and put the information in I want, such as pictures, text, whatever, and I can preview it, and then when I get all done, I can go ahead and publish it or make it available for the site. So we'll go over that in more detail. I have comments, okay, and we'll talk about comments in future video tutorials. Users. Now what users are is that I can go ahead and, as you can see, I'm the only user on this site right now, but I can, if I decide to, I can add more users. So I could add a new person, and what I can do is I can put their name, I can determine what their role is, so I can make them just an author or contributor or administrator or an editor, whatever I would particularly like to do. In other words, I'm the administrator, but I may very well want to have, say, someone else like a real estate assistant, that what they're going to do is just put news up on my site. And so what that's going to be is there'll be something like an author or contributor or an editor. So each one of these has different levels of access, if you will. Going down from here, I have, again, all users. One thing that I did want to mention up here that this may have gotten a little bit out of order is my Appearance tab. One of the things that you have under Appearance are themes. Themes are the way your site looks. So for example, currently I'm utilizing this theme right here. And in another tutorial we will change these. Now you can, when you have your own site that you totally control after the class, you can download and utilize all kinds of themes. We're going to be using a theme that I got from a company called Studio Press. It's called the magazine theme. But again, this is the look and feel. In other words, what color the pages are, what color the menus are, the text, so on and so forth. Also underneath here I have something called widgets. Widgets allow me to add additional functionality to my menu system or to my pages, and we'll go over that in the future. And for example, one of the things we're going to use is something called social profiles, so you can put your Twitter, your Facebook links, your LinkedIn links right on your website. So we'll talk more about that in the future. This menus here under appearance is where I can create menus, menu systems for my particular website, and again we'll cover that. This is what we call theme options, and this is unique to this particular theme. So what it's doing is it's showing me what kinds of pages I can have in my theme, and we'll talk more about that. Right now this is under this theme, which is the 2011 theme options. I can have these kind of pages where I have content on the left and a column on the right, or a column on the left and content on the right, or I can have one column with no sidebar at all. In other words, a full page. Next thing that I have is I can control my background. So I can do things such as decide to put different kinds of photographs up here, different types of text. So we'll talk more about that. And then we have the header, which is where I can go up here and I can do things such as, this is telling me the size of the header. I can go in here and I can change the kind of pictures that I have. So for example, if I wanted to pick a different picture in here utilizing this theme, I could just select that picture, and then once I do that, I would be able to save the changes, and then that changes the page up here. So that's just to give you an idea how that would work. Besides that, we've already talked about users. One thing I did want to mention is we had something called your profile. So your profile is where you're able to put in, for example, your first name, your last name, if you had a nickname, if you were using a nickname, which we'll talk about later, what's displayed on your website. This is where I can have my email address, if you will, my website, Yahoo Instant Messaging, so on and so forth. And then I can, of course, have my biographical information, a new password that I want to put in. And again, we'll cover more of this information in detail in further tutorials. This is tools. I can have different types of tools that are available to me on this website. This just happens to be one tool that I just installed. And then I can go in and just delete the site, and then finally I can go down here and I can have different types of settings for my site. So this is the general information that I have, where I can put things like my name, the tagline that's up on top, my email address, the date format that we're going to utilize, the time format, so we can do that. We can have something in here called writing, okay? In other words, when we write a post, this is reading. Okay, we'll talk again about that in the future. This is discussion pages we may have. This is media. Okay, this is how, when I load media up to my website, what sizes I'm going to have as the thumbnail, what I'm going to consider to be medium size, large size. We'll talk about that again in the future. This is privacy. Okay, so I can do things like allow search engines to index my site, which allows me to search engines to find me, or ask search engines to not search my site. So again, we can have that kind of privacy. And then permalinks that are down here. We'll talk more about that when we get to it. And then finally, this is what we call the WordPress editor. And again, this is something that you really don't want to touch right now. This is something about being able to edit your theme, change your theme around the way it looks. And this, you have to really know if you will, different kinds of code, such as HTML, PHP, Perl, things like this. So this is something you just want to know where it is and kind of leave it alone for right now. To go back home again, to home, I just click up here and I'm back where I started. So this just gives you an overview of what the dashboard tools are, and we're going to take one by one and go through and utilize it to build a website, and we'll be doing that in future tutorials.